Welcome to the Deadass Podcast.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Deadass Podcast. I am your host, Bryzy, where we capture stories and eulogies. And today we have a very important guest with us today, Mr. TJ Hanley. How are you, sir?
Good, thanks, Brycey. I'm good, mate.
That's
I'm
good.
Pleased I'm here and I'm alive. You're not dealing with me dead, mate. I'm alive and I'm here and I'm talking, so it's a pretty bloody big start, mate.
When I rang you about it, I mentioned to you, I said, hey, is there any chance you could come on my podcast where we capture some eulogies and stuff like that? And you're like, you just want to capture it now so you don't have to do it when my time comes. Yeah, I just press play, mate.
That's right. You're going to record me now, mate. It takes all the trouble out of it, mate.
That's exactly right. That's it. Just forward thinking, mate. So as I said before, like part of our podcast, what we do, we just capture stories of people's lives and their eulogies and stuff like that. So essentially, mate, you've got quite a extensive history in all kinds of things, which I'm really excited to hear. And everyone who knows who you are, know your son as well. Good, one of my best mates. You're the father of the hat tycoon, Mr. Knuckles.
Unfortunately, yeah. I'm Knuckles' son. I love him to pieces. He's a great fella and he's done very, very well with his cap sales and his podcasts. And
he's doing fantastic.
I'm pleased to know that, Brycey, you're one of his best mates.
Yep.
And if I can support you in this podcast, mate, I'll do whatever I can to help you, mate.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that so much. You do have quite an extensive history. You have some amazing stories that I've heard over the years from yourself, from your son, from other friends as well. And so that's what we're here to do today, mate. We're here to capture some stuff, get some history behind, where you grew up, a bit of your family history. We'll go through to, your career, what you're involved in, all that sort of stuff, mate. So where would you like to kick off from?
Yeah, Brycey, mate, I might sort of start, I think, with like my family's history.
Yep, perfect.
It's Dad's early history and Mum's early history and Dad's mother's early history.
Yep.
Timothy Hanley came out to Australia in about 1840.
Okay, yep.
I believe from checking documents that he arrived on a ship
Yep.
in South Australia. He finished up over in Sydney.
Yeah, okay.
He was an Irish engineer.
Yeah, rightio.
And back in the 1840s, 1850s, he put a road across the Blue Mountains.
Yeah, wow.
And for a long time was known as Hanley's Gap. I've been down there, but there's new big freeways now go past and over it, and it's probably a forgotten area, But that's where the Hanleys came from originally.
Yeah.
Mum's people, they came out from England.
Yep.
They were the Connollys. And if anyone had learnt their social studies, Blaxland, Wentworth and Lawson crossed the Blue Mountains.
Yes, of course.
Well,
yeah.
Luke Connolly was Mum's great-great-grandfather. Mm-hmm. He was a faithful servant for Charles Wentworth for 20 years.
Wow.
And I've seen the reference he gave him.
Yeah, you were saying that. That's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And of interest, Charles Wentworth married Robert Towns's daughter, aged 15 years of age, and Townsville was named after Robert Towns, who was one of the discoverers of Townsville.
There you go.
So we go right back, and I've done a lot of work on Robert Towns and the property. You? Oh, a lot of history I put together on Robert Towns. He's a remarkable man.
Is he really?
Even I was at Charleville there. He owned one of the first blocks of land in Charleville.
Did he really?
Believe it or not,
Wow.
Robert Towns. I've got all documentation on that, and he also did sandalwood, carted sandalwood out of the far western Queensland, out of places that no one knew he was there.
Wow.
He carted down to Wilcannia on horse teams.
Yep.
And then put it on barges down to Melbourne, sandalwood timber, right back in the early times.
Wow.
And one of his first properties was called Thuringowa out there.
Yeah, right.
And as you know, that's the main shire west of the city of Townsville was Thuringowa Shire.
Yeah.
And that was the name of his property. And it was abandoned back in like the 1860s.
Is it really?
And that was the name of his place. And when I saw it, I said, "Oh, well, that's the name of Thuringowa Shire." But I couldn't. And when I tried to get some information in relation to Thuringowa, where the name come from, well, I obviously come from Robert Towns.
Yeah.
they said that it was an Aboriginal name.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
They didn't connect it with
him.
Robert Towns. Yeah,
Wow.
so I do a lot of. I've got a great range of history books. Do
you like to do that for your own personal, like that's a bit of stuff for your history, like hobbies and stuff like that? Or is that, and like that? Then you can also make the connection to your own family history and stuff like that too.
That's
I
right.
take it, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I've got a whole library of history books: Queensland history, Australian history. Read it all the time. I see a new book comes out.
Yep.
On that type of thing, non-fiction stuff, I always get it. And
do you, any particular history in general? Is it more like the people history, or like even just like the early formation of Australia or Queensland? Is it all Queensland stuff mainly?
No, yeah, a lot of Queensland, but mainly Australia.
Yeah.
But a lot of I'd probably say 60% would be Queensland.
Yeah.
All the early explorers, and there's an author by the name of Glenville Pike.
Yep.
He wrote the best books on early history.
Yeah, rightio. Okay.
One of his main books was Queensland Frontier.
Yep.
Which should be a history book for all students in Queensland.
Yeah, okay,
to read.
Cool.
Just phenomenal history.
I'll have a look at that because I do quite like that sort of stuff myself.
When you read through it, you come across these names of old prospector like, say, Dalrymple or these type of things, famous explorers. And then you get to know where the origin of all the towns come from.
Yeah, right.
Like all the towns are named after these old early prospectors and
you wouldn't know any other way, would you?
And at one stage I was going to put a book together with them all, the A to Z of the towns, rivers, ranges, mountains, seas, and where their origin was.
That's cool.
But of course now we got Google, and so someone can hit a button and
they can find it.
Find it anyway. So they.
But I mean, you still have to know what you're looking for, though. I guess.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
But my history myself, I'm Terence Hanley.
Yes.
And I was named after, believe it or not, I hope these roofs stay up here. I was named after Bishop Maguire, Terence Maguire.
Okay. Yeah.
And he was a bishop.
The bishop
in Townsville.
Yep.
From 1930 to 1938.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
And he was a very progressive outward bishop, and he actually set up the first mission on Palm Island.
Oh, really?
For the Catholic Church.
Yeah, sure.
And Abagari Agricultural College.
I didn't know that.
Training. He was the founder of it.
Both of them. And it's very progressive for a minister, for a bishop, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. No, he's a very outgoing sort of fellow.
Normally they're very conservative.
No, he's written up as the most outgoing, progressive bishop.
Wow.
Like to help the community, young people to learn, the agricultural industry and probably the sugar industry and that sort of thing, and particularly, wayward ones and that too,
Yeah, that's impressive, mate.
So when I say I've been named after a bloody bishop, everyone runs for cover. I think this could be possible.
No, mate, that's all right. So you're named after bishop, and what? So whereabouts did you grow up? Was it in what area was it?
Yeah, okay. I grew up in west of Dalby, in an area called Dandine.
Yep.
Dandine. Dad went to the Second World War in the Middle East and New Guinea, and in 1946, Dandine Station, which was owned by the Clarks, was cut into what they called soldier settlement blocks in those days.
Okay, sure.
And Dad drew one of them, and he was a drover and a ringer and a stockman in the Gulf and in the Maranoa country before the war, and he hadn't had much farming experience. But when he came back from the war, to qualify for one of these blocks, he had to do a 6 months course at the Gatton College, which he did in 1945. And once he got that certificate, he could qualify to be in a ballot for these soldier settlement blocks.
Yeah, okay, sure.
And then 1946, he drew a block, and him and Mum, he put an old army tent on it. Wow. Didn't have too much money after the war. Mum was an accountant with Queensland Fruit Supplies in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And then she worked at a garage in Dalby, Coots's garage.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
And Dad had this army tent. Mum worked in town Friday afternoon on a push bike. She put groceries or whatever she had on the old push bike and pedal it out 18 mile to the block they just drawn.
Holy smokes, yeah.
And then Sunday night she'd bloody pack up and pedal it back into town Sunday night. And all they had was really a crosscut saw, an axe, a shovel and whatever tools.
Wow.
And they cleared 1,200 acres themselves. Mum and Dad cutting down the big Moreton Bay ash trees with a crosscut saw and
that's crazy.
Axe and saw, and they worked hard. And then in about 50, 51, they built a little house, which was really a tractor shed.
Yeah, right.
With a little house on the end of it. And then in 52, there's a little squawk, and a little fella turned up, and that was my first house at Dandine. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's impressive. And was that like the back in the day where you were saying that there was like, where was it where you had the property with no power? It was.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it?
Yeah, we had, I always say, look at these modern ladies today, and you go into the kitchen, they've got every appliance in a house known to white men, and cutting and bloody shredding and all sorts of mixing and like in our house we had a Crown wood stove.
Wow.
With the water fountain. There's a little fountain on the side with water, hot water.
Yeah, sure.
That was the stove. We had a Charles Hope refrigerator, which was kerosene refrigerator.
Yep. Kerosene one. Wow.
Kerosene, which in the middle of it had a little ice box, right in the middle, a little ice box.
Yep.
And Charles Hope fridge. And Mum had what they called a petrol iron. She thought it was the best thing in the world, a little iron with a little tank on it.
Yeah, right.
You pumped it up and ironed the clothes with.
Really?
And Dad had a Primus, a Metho Primus.
Yep.
Which he used to pump up and boil a billy early in the morning.
Wow.
And we had two lanterns and a Tillian and a lantern pump up kerosene lantern.
Wow.
That was all the
crazy
stuff we had in the house, And outside, Mum had, I think she had 3 old tubs.
Yep.
She used to put the washing in. The copper was up out in the flat, the big copper, and boil it up and put the clothes in there and rinse them in the tubs. And I remember when I was a little fella, Dad gave Mum a hand wringer where you wrang the clothes, the sheets and that from one tub. And in those days, had the little blue bags.
Yes.
You put a little bag of blue sort of dye to keep your sheets white and your clothes white. And she'd wring it through this hand wringer from one tub to the other, and she thought she'd won Gold Lotto when Dad bought her this hand wringer. That was a big deal,
Of course it would have been, yeah.
And that's what I was brought up with. And Mum and Dad had 2 chairs, 2 good wooden chairs. We had a table. Us kids, we had a little chair, a little high chair I think I had originally. Yeah. And then we had cream cans with a sugar bag on top of them.
Wow.
That was our chairs.
Really?
You come in, grab a cream can and pull it up to the table. And,
wow.
And that was life, that's the way it was. Yeah. We were happy and we were healthy.
Yeah, of course.
Mum and Dad had the veggie garden there. They grew their own veggies. We had a milker, milked the cow.
But that's like, the funny thing is, like nowadays, if you heard about that, that's some sort of like organic farming that's funky, and it's like, what I mean? Like that's not everyday life. That's
the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, but people look at that like it's because I know there's like around here there's these little hobby farms and people can go to them and see them, and like they think it's really like it's extraordinary. But that was everyday life back in the day. That was normal.
There's no electricity.
Yeah, that's right.
No electricity, and that's why we lived for a lot of years actually. And but we were happy and healthy. When Dad milked the cow, we always had fresh milk, and we had our veggies. And he had 1 pig.
Did he?
1 pig. The pig ate 9 bags of wheat. He said, "I'm going to get another pig." No way in the world. Those bloody grain-eating hogs. It's a bit of a story.
Yeah.
This pig was called Jeannie.
Yeah.
And she is my pet pig. I used to feed her.
Yeah.
Go down. That was one of my little jobs. Was cardboard for the wood for the fire.
Yeah.
And with my little pedal truck thing.
Little pedal one, yeah.
Put the wood in the back from the wood heap and take it up, put it in Dad's wood box, and then I had to feed Jeannie occasionally,
Yeah.
And anyway, one day, what's her name? Dad had these tyres cut in half.
Yep.
Cut across, and you put the feed and that in these tyres.
Okay, yeah.
Tire. And anyway, one of these tyres was tipped over, and fortunately, Dad was there, and I went to tip over this tyre, and there was the biggest black snake under this tyre, big red belly black snake under there, and Dad said, "Quick, drop that tyre," Anyway, a snake went to heaven anyway. He was a good snake, so he went to heaven. And so then Jeannie could come the time where poor old Jeannie had to get converted from being a happy pig to hams and bacon. You know? So Mum and Dad thought, oh, gee, it's going to be a bit of a drama, you know.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So they said, we'll take you up to the neighbour's place. We could play with other kids. And so meanwhile, they've killed Jeannie and they've butchered her in half, cut her in half. They got her hanging up in this gamble under this tree, this box tree. And they brought me home. It was just before dark. And I looked up and I seen Jeannie hanging up. And I said, Daddy, look at Jeannie. She's hanging up there. Doesn't she look good, you know? And like I was happy. I thought, what a beauty. Isn't she a ripper, this bloody Jeannie? She's hanging up there. And there was no tears. They thought I'd be all upset. What have you done to Jeannie? Yeah. I thought, you're beautiful. Doesn't she look good?
Oh, wow. But, bloody built for it, mate.
Yeah. But anyway, we sort of progressed on there.
Yeah.
Dad was, as he's a stockman, I got my first horse when I was 6.
Yeah, sure.
There's a bit of a story attached to it. An old drover by the name of Walter Redmond.
Yep.
Gave Dad this pony to give to me for my first horse.
Wow, that's cool.
And she was a drover's mare.
Yeah, okay, sure.
A little hairy-legged mare. And actually, there's a photograph of her in the R.M. Williams magazine.
Is it really?
Did a story on me in 2012 when I left the police force.
Oh, wow, cool.
And there's a photograph of me and Biddy chasing the old milker. And
that's cool.
There's only a little fella sitting up there. But anyway, she's the worst bloody mare to catch. Dad would have a hobble. You just have to better jam her in a corner and tie her up before you get a bridle on her. She was a terrible bit of gear. And we had some, what they call Reeves peas in a bin.
Okay,
there.
Yeah, sure.
And I used to have this red dish and I'd take it down to try and get her so I could catch her with the peas.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And, she'd run around me, she'd run over me, she'd run everywhere to get away from being caught, you know. But anyway, one day I went down, I said, come on, Biddy, I got some beans for you. And she walked straight up to me and she started eating the beans and I was patting her, you know.
Really?
And Dad was there and he said, well, I didn't believe in miracles before, but that's a miracle, he said. The old fellow said, yeah. So,
oh, shit, that's all right.
So anyway, I progressed on. He bought me a big chestnut thoroughbred mare to ride when I got a bit bigger. And because when I was about 7 or 8, I was driving the tractor, ploughing and helping him muster and feed cattle.
Many hands make light work. That's what they did.
It was just Mum and I, and my little sister was come on about then. But it was a good, happy life.
Yep.
You know, that's the way it was. And you ever heard of the Red X trials?
No.
Yeah, it was the trials back in the 50s. Jelly Knight Jack Clark.
Yeah.
They had this trials. Old racing cars raced around Australia.
Oh, okay. Already,
You're going down to Wilkes Creek and watching these cars go off over through this Wilkes Creek, these racing cars.
That would have been pretty cool to watch.
That was a big deal, you know.
Yeah, it would have been a big deal. Bloody yeah. Did your parents have motor vehicles at all at any point? Or
later on
they did.
Yeah. See, once the situation was once they sort of cleared the land.
Yeah,
I think it was the Agricultural Bank of Queensland at the time because they were soldier settlers.
Yeah.
They lent them £3,000, I think.
Yeah, sure.
And with that, they had to buy a tractor, a plough, a combine, harrows, and a scarifier.
Okay.
And so they could plant their crop, put a crop in, and of course it's virgin, beautiful box Balar, Brigalow country, the richest soil probably on the Darling Downs in that country, you know. And they of course their first couple of crops were just unbelievable good crops.
Oh, it would have been beautiful.
And then they bought the tractor and they got an old Sunshine harvester, which was pulled by the tractor.
Yep.
And Mum used to drive the Dad used to drive the tractor. Mum was on the header.
Yeah.
And then she'd get out and she'd empty the bags. So you'd dump them, what they call dump them, and leave them in the paddock. Mm-hmm. Then we had what we call bag sowers.
Okay.
They'd come along and they'd sew the bags up.
Yep.
And Mum and Dad did that, you know, for years. And then, of course, later on, we got into what they call bulk grain.
Okay, radio.
And Dad was one of the first farmers to buy what they call a Canadian header called a cockshut.
Yep.
A Canadian cockshut with a Chrysler motor in it.
Okay.
Still at home on the farm today.
Is it really?
Yep, still there.
Wow.
He bought it in I think he bought it in 1956 or 7, somewhere around then.
Wow.
And it had balloon tyres, these big fat tyres.
Yep.
Like they were aircraft tyres.
Oh, they're really?
So he could run over country that the other ones would get bogged in.
Would have been like off the old DCs or something, eh?
Yeah,
Like big old,
something like that. Yeah, the big old balloon tyres.
Yeah, yeah.
Little tiny tread.
Yeah, little tiny tread, yeah.
And Dad did all his own harvesting until every year until 1976 when he had a massive crop and he was getting on in years and he was selling the farm.
Yeah.
And he got a contractor in to harvest. But all through that period, he harvested,
Wow.
There's a little bit of a story there attached to that old harvester. We used to go to Harvey Bay for holidays.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And just before he bought the header, he was at the Urangan. There's a block of ground, 10 acres, near the Urangan jetty there.
Oh, like Bundy, down Bundy region?
Yeah, Harvey Bay.
Oh, Harvey Bay, sorry, yeah.
10 acres on the front, on the Esplanade.
Wow.
With this biggest Queenslander. And they wanted, I think, £1,500 for it.
Yeah, right.
And Mum and Dad had the money from a couple of good crops, but Dad said, we're going to have to soon get into this bulk grain. So I'm going to have to buy a header, and that's probably going to cost me $1,500. So we might be better off buying the header and not worrying about this. And, but I reckon that land there would probably be worth worth $20 million.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Or more,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But that's just the bloody
It's
history.
amazing to think of how many properties that people could have bought for pennies on the dollar back then. Yeah. And to think what they'd be worth now would be phenomenal. Jesus.
I in where were we? 1990.
Yeah.
There was blocks at Taunton there.
Yeah, Taunton.
In-laws.
Yeah, sure.
And I could have bought a block, 50-acre block there for $56,000. There's dirt road past it, and anyway, sort of some of the in-laws talked us out of it.
Yeah.
And about 2 years ago, the same block was sold to Alfred Grant for $13.1 million.
Fucking hell. Oh, wow. Isn't that crazy, eh?
That's
just, that's good. You don't, who knows? Who was to know?
Yeah.
Who was to know? Some places would still be a swampland. You just don't know. You got no idea.
Right, yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, so where did you go
back on the farm?
Yeah, back on the farm.
So I, when all the soldiers, settlers moved in there, and they're all families, young, returned soldiers with young families, they moved to school. I'm not sure whether it's from Drillham or Dallacca, a one-teacher school. They moved it to Dandine.
Wow, one-teacher school.
One-teacher school, yeah. And they set up there. I think probably the most number of kids would have been under 20.
Yeah.
I think there was, when I went to it, there was about 12.
Yeah, right.
12 kids.
And so she'd literally have to work her teaching structure around all the different ages.
Yeah. Well, they were male teachers in those days, and they rode push bikes to school.
Yep.
They stayed with one of the farmers there. They rode push bikes to school, and they had those days from grade 1 to grade 8, which was scholarship year, they call it.
Okay, yeah,
So
sure.
it was eight classes.
Wow.
And to teach them all.
Yep.
Yeah, and the old copybook writing, the inkwells.
Yeah, wow.
Guys, I won't go there, but I was not very impressed with Brett's writing, and I went along to school when he was a little fellow, had bloody knuckles, and they said, well, he's the best writer in the class, I said, well, I was going to get a copybook out and get him writing, proper letters for him.
Yeah, proper form.
There was a little bit of
controversy.
They sort of at home front. Mum wasn't real keen about that, but no. But yeah, I went along there, and I still think one teacher school, even though the teacher had say the 8 classes. Yeah, you more or less had one-on-one. He'd help you all.
Yep.
Just like bit like School of the Air. Not to elaborate on a bit on that later on, but.
Did you enjoy that? Like, was it
a little teacher school?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, no, well, you had your little mates.
Yeah, of course.
And it was always a sporting, like all those old areas. There was a big cricket pitch there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And there was, I think, 2 or it might have been 2 tennis courts.
Yeah.
And the parents played tennis as well.
Yep.
On Sundays and Saturday they had fixtures and cricket, playing different districts. Yep. There's a great camaraderie between all the different little farming districts.
That's cool.
Back in those days. And we used to play something which you might have heard of, Pricey, called Vigoro. You ever
Vigoro? No. What is it?
It's like cricket, but the bat's like an oval-shaped bat.
Oh,
with a cricket handle on it, but a little oval-shaped bat on the end of it.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And if you hit, you had to run. It's like hit and run.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And then because those days we had tunnel ball, the old
tunnel ball, yeah.
Tunnel ball. And
I remember tunnel ball.
And
we did that as a part of our school sports back in the day.
Yeah, tunnel ball. And I always sort of a bit of athletics. And But anyway, I was a bit of a larrikin, unlike Knuckles, Unlike Knuckles.
I don't know where he got that from.
No, I don't know. I think it must be his mother. but I seen it occasionally in those days. Those teachers would give you what they call the cuts. They had a cane, big long lawyer cane, and they give you 6 of the best across the hand if you did some little venial sin of pouring water on girls or something like that. Anyway, so he had these 2 canes I knew about. And this little sonny one, the whole school was one room with a little storeroom out the back.
Yep, okay.
And a little veranda out the front.
Yep.
And anyway, the teacher had these canes, and I seemed to be, most popular man. He liked to bloody use them on. It's popular lad. And I thought, well, I'll fix him up. I'll get rid of these canes.
Yeah.
So I got 2 of them, and I threw them right in this. We used to have wheat fields all around. Threw them in this wheat paddock, so he couldn't find them. However, I didn't plan on him having a 3rd one tucked away.
A reserve one.
So I got shed flogged out of me with the cane, and then we got kept in and find out who stole his cane.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So anyway, you had to write on a piece of paper who stole the cane and fold it up, and hand it to the teacher. And I didn't write anything on mine. I think there's 12 kids in the class. There's 11 Terrys and one with nothing on it. Well, that was chapter 1. Chapter A of the punishment. Chapter B was when I got home. I got a flogging when I got home.
Got double whammy.
Yeah, got it all. Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's funny.
Anyway, that's just a little.
I love that.
But no, I had good memories of school.
Good memories, yeah.
And back in those days, Christmas used to have a Christmas like end of the year party sort of a thing.
Oh yeah.
And back then they used to bring these big like ice cream. You never heard of ice cream in those days.
You wouldn't have.
You know, like Mum used to make some ice cream in these little trays, like it was a real treat. Might be once every couple of months. Ideal Milk would make ice cream in the little trays in the Charles Hope fridge.
Oh yeah, you were saying that. Yeah, that's right.
In. But they used to have this big green padded sort of bag, about probably 4 or 5 foot wide and about 4 foot high, and a big top on it, and had dry ice in it. It used to get delivered there with the dry ice to keep the ice cream cold. Because like no one had refrigeration.
Yeah, of course.
In those days, so no power.
Yeah, of course.
So we used to look forward to our annual Christmas break up and the ice cream and a few goodies and it was a good, and that day in those days there was no crime.
Yeah, that's what I could imagine. It would have been.
No one ever locked their houses.
Yeah.
It was a good law-abiding area. Yeah. No breaking enters, no thefts, no cars being stolen. It was just a great time to be brought up.
It sounds like it, and and I could imagine too, no power in the joint. You guys weren't. No one was sitting there at night time looking on their phones or playing on the computer or watching TV when the lights were out. When the daylight went, the lights were out. What do you do? Go sleep.
And sometimes and even later, like we used to play drafts.
Yep.
Like we never got and 500 cards.
500.
Like Mum and Dad and I and my sister would play 500.
But it's still all family orientated stuff.
Yeah,
like you're always doing stuff together with the family, so it's a real close knit.
Dad had a Hot Point radio.
Okay,
which was 6 volt. In those days, cars had 6 volt systems before the 12 volt.
Yes, of course. Yeah,
that's right. And a 6 volt battery. And when he was in the war in New Guinea, he sort of got friendly with Americans and some of the baseball teams and that.
Oh yeah, cool.
And he used and had shortwave bands on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And he listened to the
That's cool.
the baseball.
Yeah, yeah.
And him and I at times we'd love our cricket when the Aussies were playing the English, and it'd be broadcast by a fellow by the name of Alan McGillivray.
Yeah.
And he'd be telling us, Dave's comes up and bowls, and then he'd add a little pen on a little bit of marble, and he'd tap it, and that'd be the ball hitting the bat.
Oh, really?
When he was when he recording his
when he's recording it, so you get the sound of it.
The bat, yeah. And we used to listen to him, through the night. They'd be playing in the night time, and we'd stay up late sometimes listen to him. And
that's crazy.
That's all just stuff that was everyday life. But
it would have been some great times. It would have been some beautiful times.
But then Dad moved a house out from Dalby.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Which was a bit bigger home, nice home. And we got what they call 32 volt.
32 volt
power.
Yeah, right.
And Mum got, poor old Mum, she would have had a broom and a mop. She got a 32 volt washing machine and like a vacuum, not a vacuum cleaner, a polisher.
Yeah.
She used to get down to hands and knees and polish the floors by hand.
Wow.
And she got this polisher. When we got this 32 volt.
What was she? She would have been stoked.
She thought it was unreal. Then she got an electric, we had an electric kettle.
Yeah.
What they called a Burko.
Okay, yeah.
And electric mix master.
Yeah, right.
I don't think we had electric frying pan. We might have later on because that went on for a fair while. You used to have to run the motor every night and every day.
Okay.
And had a big bank of batteries.
Yeah, sure.
In a little shed there, and you start the motor up. When you wanted power, you start the motor up, see?
Yeah.
And the night time when all the appliances turned off and that, you just had batteries to run a few lights you had in the house.
Yeah, sure.
Well, then about must have been the early 70s, almost 75, I suppose. We got what they call rural power.
Okay.
240 volt,
It did.
To the property.
To the property, wow.
Because then we got like a TV, first TV.
And what that would have been was that like
black and white?
Yeah, was that like crazy for you, but like when you seen that, you're like, what the hell is this?
What's this? I've seen Neil Armstrong land on the moon.
Wow.
We had an old Chrysler black and white TV.
Chrysler.
And like that, you're glued to and things like McHale's Navy and all these old what's the name?
TV shows.
TV shows, all black and white.
Wow.
And so that was sort of that really things started to move a bit then.
Yeah. Yeah. Technology was coming through, advancements were taking place.
Well, then I'd gone from the farm in grade 5. I went into what they called St. Columba's Convent in Dalby.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And I boarded at the CWA hostel.
Okay. Oh, you boarded? Yeah.
I boarded there.
Yeah. How far was that from the property?
23 mile.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I'd come in. They'd drop me in Monday morning, pick me up Friday afternoon.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I'd Monday to Friday go for the weekend.
Yep.
Help Dad mustering or whatever was happening, But there's a lot of tales attached to that CWA hostel and the convent. Like the convent, had to wear like full uniform.
Yep.
Tie, hat, come to school, socks pulled up. And the first day I was there, and this is unbelievable. Look, some of these fellas who went to school, they'll just about fall out of their chairs when they hear that. Hear this. I was walking on this plank to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
And it was wobbly old plank, and it was mud and water and everywhere. I slipped off the plank and I've landed in the mud.
Oh.
In the mud. Mud all over me.
Yeah.
So my nickname was Slopper. From day one, I got the nickname of Slopper.
Slopper.
What a name. A very good name, Slopper. I was with Mum on a Saturday morning uptown, and the schoolmates say, "Hey, Slopper." They'd scream out, and I'd turn around and Mum say, "Wish I wouldn't call you that." But I used to, buddy, didn't mind a bit of a fight.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, a bit of a one. I don't know. But anyway, the nuns used to put, if we were fighting in the schoolyard, okay, you two, and buddy, put the boxing gloves on us.
Oh, really?
I was only 9.
Yeah,
Put the boxing gloves on us, and a penny for the missions. They charged the other kids a penny to watch the fight.
Really?
You know. And
shit.
We'd get into it. And I'd give a few fellas a bit of a touch of one bloke. He'd run away and I'd chase him for about 300 yards.
Did you?
But anyway, that was all. And they didn't mind dishing out a bit of penalty, those nuns.
I could imagine they would have. I've heard that. I heard the nuns. Heard the nuns were usually more vicious than the bishops. Than the priests.
They were very kind. They were good people. But
Yeah.
if you were extra naughty like I was a few times, you got a bit of penalty. But it was in the school choir, grade 5. And anyway, she said sing sort of high do, you know.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I went, do. Sing low do, I went, do. And she's walking around saying, who's doing that, you know, and do. Anyway, she went away and she walked in this other room and come in behind me.
Oh, so she caught you.
She got me.
No.
She got me. So I had to go across to the Mother Superior and, I found out what the nuns had hiding under their habit there. Bloody Christ, I got a bit of that treatment. But no, they were good educators and at the hostel there, because I actually was the only Catholic kid staying in this hostel, see?
Okay, yeah,
and the rest of the kids went to the the public school.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Anyway, they took my hat this day, and you had to have your hat.
Oh, okay.
And they hid it, and I couldn't find it, so I went to school with that hat. I remember this nun, I think Sister Mary Angela.
Yeah.
I went in, she said, where's your hat, Terry Hanley? I left it at home, sister, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, when you bring it to school next day, come and see me. Next day I found it. So I put it on my head. She said, now, for 3 weeks, you wear that hat in class, every day in class, and if a stranger comes to the room, you've just got to stand up and say, my name's Terry Hanley. I'm wearing this hat in class because I left my hat at home. Oh, tell you what.
So you had to do that?
Yeah,
for 3 weeks?
For 3 weeks. That was a bit embarrassing.
It would have been.
Oh, dear.
Oh, jeez. They really ingrained it in you to bloody keep your hat with you, hey?
Yeah, that's
Holy smokes.
And your uniform, but
Yeah.
but they were good. We had a sister, Mary Lucy. She used to play rugby league with us.
Did she? She played it.
We could never catch her. She had
Really?
She was in full habit, rosary beads swinging. She said, she's trying as little fellas for football. Try and catch me. You never catch her. Christ, she could run.
Oh, shit, that's funny.
The all the gear on, you know.
Yeah.
She'd hold her buddy, have it up a bit, and away she'd go. Those little fellas trying to catch her. Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Another story there. Mum used to give me 2 bob pocket money.
Yeah.
And I think, 2 bob for the week, and I had 2 bob on Monday to buy a tuck shop.
Okay, yeah,
Because the hostel supply of lunches and that.
Yep.
When we're there. Anyway, there's a store called Furness's Store, and I used to get a pie, and we used to go to the convent, and then you get a cup of cream chicken soup. This hot cream chicken soup. It was pretty cold down there, Darling Down. So anyway, I got this pie, and I bit into it. Oh, that doesn't taste too good. So I prized the lid off it, and here's a whole mouse.
Oh, right.
A whole mouse in me pie.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Anyway, I showed everyone. Oh, God. Anyway, so, that was, what would it be, 9?
Yeah.
I probably didn't eat a pie until I was about 40. And if you're ever with me when I'm having a pie, I always pull a pocket knife out and I prise the lid off that bloody pie.
Wow.
And I check him out before I take a bite out of it. I learned hard on that mouse in the pie.
Holy shit.
To his credit, he was nicely cooked, that mouse.
Just a little chewy, was it?
He was sitting nicely in there.
I look at you like enough, just enough to notice it wasn't right.
He was having a bit of a camp in there, and he must have hit the oven.
That would turn me off too. Holy shit.
But anyway, so that was probably one story, St. Columbus story, but I've got a lot of them. But I'll probably go back to the hostel. Had some good mates there.
Yeah. There's
always a matron.
Yep.
And then a husband worked there most times.
Yeah.
And there was and it was boys and girls. There was girls down one end, boys down the other end. And anyway, And I was always up to practical jokes, see. So, like the ladies used to make your lunches for us to take to school, and they write your name on it.
Yep.
And it's good food and that there. Everything was good. Good beds and good food and good. We had good mates. And anyway, there was this lady, Mrs. Ensor. She was a lovely lady. I don't know what possessed me to do this, but she used to leave these furry sort of slippers outside a room in winter time. They had the fluff around the top. The fluff around grandma's slippers still there. So I got the slippers. I put it in the freezer. So nothing was said.
Yeah.
So, and I was expecting a bit of at breakfast time.
Yep.
Because no one else knew I put the slippers in there.
Yeah.
I thought. Anyway, I get to school and there's my lunch, nicely folded with greaseproof paper, lovely, terry on. And then I opened it, nice, neat sandwich, beautiful sandwich, and I took a bite into it. Oh, I couldn't bite it. I had bread and newspaper for my lunch. 2 sandwiches of bread and newspaper. And cut as neat as could be, like the neatest could be.
Wow.
So anyway, I didn't say anything to anybody. But she said, "Well, I've got me man, but no one else got bread and newspaper. No one else got bread and newspaper. What'd you get for that? I was the only one that got bread and newspaper."
So it was onto it.
She knew I was the one that hid.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant.
Slippers in.
Oh, wow, that's brilliant. Sounds like they had a good sense of humour too at the same time, mate. Like they must have had a bit of.
She was good.
Yeah.
There's an old fella before there. We used to go from. It was 7:30, I think, to 8:45. You had to do your homework in this in the kitchen area, in the where your dining area sort of thing.
Yeah,
and you all sat down there and you couldn't talk. You had to do your homework and your study or whatever you wanted to do. And I used to do these little cartoons. See, I'd pass them around to the girls. Anyway, I got this little cartoon. I've done a little pencil sketch of a pram.
Yeah,
wheels and 4 little heads in the pram. Four little heads, and a mother pushing the pram, see? And I've got underneath it, the doctor forewarned me.
Okay.
The doctor forewarned me, see? 4 babies, see? And I thought that was the funniest little joke.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I thought it was a good one. And I passed around, all these girls are giggling, Yeah. Anyway, this fella, this Don, I won't say his surname, but he said, "What are you laughing at?" And anyway, he got it. And, "Who did this?" And, Al Muggins here put his hand up. They took me outside and he got the bloody cord off the lawn, the Victor lawnmower.
The pull cord.
Yeah, flogged the shit out of me legs with the pull cord. So I sort of desist from doing any more cartoons in the classroom.
Holy shit.
Another time, he used to sneak around looking in through the windows, see?
Yeah.
Night time, see, it was at 9:30. You had to be in bed, lights out at 9:30.
Yep.
And he used to sneak around looking in to see if there's anyone running around or doing anything wrong, Anyway, I heard a bit of a noise. I said to the other boys, "Someone's outside there." And I walked up, I'm looking out this window, and this fella, he's looking in. Like both faces. We got their nose just about pressed together. Frightened the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Probably him too, and I said his name, "You sneaky old snake." I said, he come in there like a skyrocket.
Did he?
And he bloody flogged me too. Oh, God. Because I called him a sneaky old snake. Oh, God.
Geez, you copped some floggings.
Another time. Oh, we decided, those days, Guy Fawkes night with the big bungers.
Oh, yeah.
We had these 6-penny bungers. And the old toilets, there was 2 toilets outside with the old tin urinal outside.
Oh, yeah.
Open top on it and that.
Yep.
So we thought we'd see how long a candle took to burn down, and the candle connected to these 2 6-penny bungers to see how sort of a noise it'd make.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for us, it went off about 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, shit.
It sounded like bloody the bomb that hit Hiroshima, the noise that bastard made. Well, I woke up half the town.
Oh, no.
Everyone in the street, all fire brigade, police come.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
you never had, like, oh, my God. That was the biggest bang. And there was a little bit of strife about that. No, there was no police action or anything, but
No.
we just told not to be such naughty boys in the future. Because there was about 18 boys and no admissions, I tell you.
I love that.
We weren't owning up. No one's owning up. We thought we might
snitching.
might have been a hanging going on. We would have done
a public one. Oh, Jesus, it sounds like you got up to some, but it would have been good times, good mischief.
It was, it was really
and it was
good
harmless
times.
stuff too.
Went to the Christian Brothers.
Yeah. Where was Christian Brothers? Is that in Dalby?
They built a brand new one in Dalby.
In Dalby, yeah.
And all the boys went to St Mary's Christian Brothers.
Okay, yeah,
and the girls stayed at the convent.
Yeah, okay.
And I know Dad carted a lot of dirt with his grain truck for the football over on that. He put a fair bit of time into that and helping out. And those Christian Brothers, oh, yeah. They had those little bloody leather straps.
Oh, those big ones.
Well, they were brilliant bloody teachers and very good, very smart, very good to us. But this leather strap, my God, when it come out, oh, yeah. What's the name? I was in the class, out in the paddock one day there in the grounds, and there's a couple of fellas getting round. They walk up, one bloke would talk to you and get your attention right up. Another bloke get on all fours behind you and push you over.
Oh, yeah.
You go to the back, hit the ground. As I said, I used to, buddy, I didn't sort of hang back, but this kid is talking to me and the other fellas behind me, he pushed me, ass over head, and I went, hit the ground, and I got up, buddy, like Cassius Clay. I was going to kill him. So I've bounced a few off this fella, just in time for the Christian brother to see.
Oh, shit.
See me hitting this bloke, Well, he gave me 6 with his strap, and he put a bit of effort into it, and that was the principle. And he said, "Now, Terry, do unto others as they do unto you." Yeah. I said, "I did, brother." Well, they give me another. They give me another bloody 6. I get some more. We used to have a kid that. In the class, he's always looking outside, looking out the window.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a Christian brother, and he'd say to this fella, I'll call him B.
Yep.
B, if you keep looking out the window, he said, you won't learn anything. Well, looking out the window, you learn it in the class, looking up here on the blackboard and what I'm doing. You won't learn anything looking out the window. Because then morning tea would come, or smoke, or whatever you call it. He said, right here, kids, out you go, boys, all boys college. And Birmingham, there's nothing.
Well, so we'll delete that bit.
Delete that. You can sit there and watch the kids play out in the playground, Yeah. You can watch them playing out there while you're in here.
Yeah.
So anyway, cut a long story short, 50 years down the track, this fella became a Queensland Rail engine driver.
Oh, wow, yeah,
which his father was.
Yeah.
And he sent this mate of mine a photograph of him looking on the track, looking through the window of the train.
Yeah.
And he said, the brother said that I'd never make anything of myself or bloody do any good with my life if I looked out the window. He said, do it every day.
Every day
of the week now I'm making big money looking out the window.
That's so true, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I love it. It's funny how that stuff ingrains in them, hey? People remember that sort of shit, eh? Oh,
there's another fella. Great. This is a good. The fella sitting beside me, Bernie Hogan, poor old Bernie, he's a good fella. Yeah, I'll mention his name. He had a few brothers in the police force.
Yeah.
And there's another fella there, Dirty McDonald, and
not like that name, Dirty.
Yeah, Dirty McDonald. And we had to learn this poem. And anyway, Dirty McDonald, he had it written on toilet paper.
Did he?
To remember, he's reciting it over and over and over. Anyway, Dirty goes in the toilet, like multiple toilets at school there, and he leaves his toilet paper sitting on the sink,
Yeah.
And he says to Dirty, Bertie says, Dirty, do you know that poem? He said, almost. He said, well, you want of his, I just wipe me bum with it. He just wiped me bum with it. I'll do you. Oh, my God. That's the only copy he had.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
In grade 6, within grade 6, we had Mrs. Ryan. She was a grade 6 teacher.
Yeah.
An old lady, a lovely old lady. And Paul Porter was still my best mate today. Ring him just about every day.
Yeah? Oh, nice.
Old Paul from Dolby there. And she taught us to spell. And she'd say, Piggeon, Pigeon, pigeon, Piggeon, Pigeon, pigeon.
Yeah.
So you knew how to spell pigeon?
Yeah.
Piggeon.
Piggeon.
And Paul and I, over the last 50 years, 60 years, said, "See any piggeons around lately, Terry?" I told him, these bloody piggeons.
Piggeon. I'm going to use that, piggeons. Yeah, no, it's funny how that stuff stays ingrained in your even after all these years. Yeah. Isn't that funny how that works?
I'll tell you another story. I won't mention this fella's name, but he was a lovely kid. But you say to him, what's 2 and 2, and he'd say 5 or 6, or it might be 7. Anyway, he left school and he went to Mount Isa.
Yeah, right.
And I finished up, which I'll get to later on, but I finished up working in the Northern Territory.
Oh, yeah.
On a big cattle station there, 7 days a week. I was getting $28 a week,
Oh, wow, yeah. Sure.
$4 a day.
$4 a day, wow.
And real big, but we'll get to all of that later on. But this fella that was probably the dunce of the school.
Oh, wow, yeah.
He was working as a contract miner.
Oh, wow.
In Mount Isa.
Shoot.
And I met him in Mount Isa in 1970, I think.
Yeah.
And I said, "What are you doing?" Nearly said his name. "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm contract mining." And I said, "Oh, is there any money?" And he said, I clear about $700 a week.
Holy smokes.
Back then,
Yeah.
And I think the last time I heard of him was someone that said he had 6 or 8 houses in Mount Isa, which he owned. And
far out.
And I was a smarter one. I was getting $4 a day. There's all those little things you sort of...
It blows your mind, doesn't it?
You remember, what's her name? So this, no worries. Well, we'll probably move on a bit from there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah,
so I sort of left school. And this is a bit of a tale.
Yeah.
In those days, your marks, your grade 8 marks.
Yeah.
Or your junior marks, probably it was a junior, which is grade 10 these days.
Yeah, sure.
Was printed in the Courier Mail.
Was it really?
End of the year.
Oh, wow.
And have, Brycey Perry got 7 C's.
Wow, okay, cool, wow, yeah.
Like Terry Hanley got 3 C's, a B, and 2 A's. So,
oh, wow, okay, yeah.
And it was printed with your name beside it.
I didn't realise that.
It came out at the end
public
of the
knowledge.
Public knowledge for everyone to look at.
Wow, yeah.
And we were at Harvey Bay on holidays.
Yeah.
And there was a big flood in the Merry River.
Oh, yeah.
And all the phones were cut off.
Yep.
And that was the day the results come out. I was on holidays at Harvey Bay. Everyone else in the whole wide world knew what I got for junior, except old TJ. I'm stranded with no phone contact. I think it was 2 days or 3 days before I got my results.
Wow. How'd you go?
Yeah. A, 4 B's and 2 C's. Wasn't too bad.
That's all right.
That's all right, yeah.
That's good.
I liked my school, but, I was everything I've ever done in my life, I've had to struggle and work for.
Yeah, sure.
I have to write stuff out and, I've got a good long-term memory now, but like Knuckles, Bretto, he had a photographic memory.
Yeah, yeah.
Just unbelievable. And his mother was probably better.
Yeah, sure.
She could read something on the computer and
and
like training, all that. They teach it. She was miles ahead of everyone else because she'd read it.
Yep.
And she'd know it.
She'd know it.
And she'd know it, be in there for good. And like Brett, he'd be coming up to, I'd see his exam results at the TAFE College in Emerald, old Knuckles, and I'd see 98, 99, 97% for all these subjects.
Crazy.
I said, how'd you get that? He said, Dad, I know. I said, the night before, I said, are you going to do a bit of a study for the exams? No, I said, Dad, I know the answer. I don't know the answers, but I know what,
What the general consensus
and he'd get all
is.
these, and I'd say to him, well, what about the rest of the class? He said, "Oh, Dad, you got to get 60% to pass, I think." And he said, "A lot of them don't pass."
That's crazy.
And that was his memory, you know.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Yeah, great memory.
Great memory.
Yeah,
yeah,
fantastic. Hey,
yeah. We went to a cousin's place in the Gold Coast, big multi-millionaire mansion place.
I've been up there before. Yeah, nice place.
Honest, yeah.
Yeah.
And the gate there was a gate where you pin in the key.
Yep.
And the gate slides open.
Yep.
We hadn't been there for about 3 or 4 years, and I got there and I said, "I'll ring Von and get the number." He said, "No, Dad." And he went, tuk, tuk, tuk. He had it in his head for 3 years, 4 years. He go, "Tuk, tuk, tuk, gate slide." "You're too good for me, boy."
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? It's good to know that. Yeah.
But anyway, so there's a million other stories there, but I can't bore you with all my.
No, you're right, mate. That's all good. What did you do after? What did you finish up at year 8, or did you keep going to high school?
I went to grade 10.
Went to grade 10.
Yeah, grade 10. I got junior certificate, what they call that.
Yep.
And then, because Dad always said, you got to get a trade.
Yeah.
And then if you after that, do whatever you like.
Yeah.
And my old man, he's very progressive, pretty smart old fellow. He said, like electronics or electricity.
Oh yeah, is the way
to go.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had a job with Department of Civil Aviation, which is a federal department.
Oh wow, civil aviation. Yeah.
I think railways apprenticeship, PMG apprenticeship, and apprenticeship with a fella. Couchman, who was a local electrician in Dalby.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
I had that choice, those 4, see?
Yep.
And Dad said, he said, "Boy, you always give it the strength, go for the best."
Yep.
So I took on the DCA apprenticeship.
Wow.
In Brisbane, at Eagle Farm in Brisbane.
Oh, wow, cool.
And I was only 15. And anyway, cut a long story short without any other about that. I did 12 months, didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was in the city, I hated it, and it was a lot of electronics. Would have been in a workshop with the oscilloscopes and in
all bits and pieces,
confinement.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see me spending the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Even when I did, if I would have qualified, doing that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because I was a country kid and brought up out in the bush.
I was going to say that. Imagine trying to go from the country life to the urban life and all that sort of stuff. The change would have been a bit of a culture shock for you too.
So I said I was going to leave, and then there was between the Eagle Farm, there was a training college, DCA training college. Then they had the stores, and there was Airways office there where they give me a job because I was a permanent public servant, Commonwealth public servant.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
So then, but I couldn't just leave because I had to do. Anyway, they give me a job because I had 12 months of knowledge of, capacitors and resistors and, diodes and all that sort of stuff that we used for different jobs. And I went between the store and the training college. They wanted to order stuff. I'd go, I knew what I was looking for,
Oh, yeah,
and I was the go-between, Airways engineering office. Anyway, I'd done 3 or 4 months there, and I said, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And then, because Dad said, well, you can come back to the farm, always an option there.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I was allergic to grain dust.
Were you really?
We had cattle.
Yeah.
Grain dust nearly killed me.
Did it really?
Choked me up, grain dust. And so,
like a respiratory problem issue with it, or
choke up and itchy and all this sort of stuff. But would choke me up. I'd be
wow,
But anyway, so I always wanted to be a stockman like Dad was. Dad was a very good horseman and that, and so I went to a fellow by the name of Rutledge.
Okay.
In primaries in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And he used to employ jackaroos for all over Queensland, the whole of Queensland.
Oh wow, yeah, sure.
And I got a job at Harden Park Station, northeast of Blackhall.
Oh, yeah.
There's a jackaroo there for what they call for the people called McLean Brothers.
Okay.
And they had stud short horn cattle, and they had between their play, about 12,000 sheep and a couple of thousand head of cattle.
Holy smokes, yeah.
And stud cattle. And, I went from DCA to there.
Wow. And then what was that transition like? You loved it?
Oh, yeah.
Suited you a lot better?
But, I did, but they had sheep.
Yeah, right,
And I learned a lot about sheep.
Did you? So where you learned it from there?
Which held me in good stead for later on in my stock squad career. drafted sheep and identifying sheep and all the different types and breeds and how to actually muster sheep and put them through a yard and that. Which is really it's an art in itself.
Is it really?
If you're a cattleman, you've never worked sheep.
Yeah.
You just want to bloody get a gun and shoot a lot of them.
Yeah.
That's bloody sheep. But anyway, I did about 18 months there.
Yeah.
And what's the name? A lot of funny things happened there. Like Lex McLean, you run everywhere.
Yeah.
I wore out a pair of T-boots in 6 months.
Really?
Like back then, he had some horses there, but I'll tell you a bit about that in a minute. But he'd put a mob of sheep together at a water facility.
Yep.
There might be 6 or 8 mile out from the homestead, shearing time or crutching time.
Yeah.
And he'd give me 2 dogs, and he'd leave a mutton sandwich and a billy can under a gidgey tree halfway back.
Wow.
And I'd be on foot all day,
Yeah.
driving these bloody sheep in on foot. No motorbikes or nothing like that. They'd do everything on foot.
Yep.
And in the horse paddock, when we'd used horses with the cattle a few times, from the homestead to the end of the horse paddock was a mile.
Okay. Oh, yeah, sure.
A mile long, which is so many.
1.6 or something.
1.6 kilometres.
Yep.
And there's a lame-o sorry.
You're right. It's all good.
A lame-o in front of the, is that right?
Yeah, you're right.
A lame-o in front of the homestead.
Yep.
And the horses run up the laneway and round the corner into the cattle yards.
Yep.
And then they used to be wintertime, they'd be hiding right down near the end of the horse paddock.
Yeah, sure.
And because as soon as they saw me, he's galloped flat.
Really?
And I'd have to run.
Really?
As hard as I could for that mile.
Yeah.
To block them up because they did kick up and bloody fart around the yards, then come back out again.
Yeah.
And if I went at the end of that lane to block them up and get back, I'd have to go around the paddock again.
Oh, yeah, start all over again.
Wow.
Yeah,
so I learned to run pretty bloody. I was fit as a matador.
I was going to say you would be fit. You'd have
I
to
could
be
run down.
fit.
I could run down little pigs, catch little pigs, run them down on foot.
Yeah,
like I was bloody fit. And
that farmer strength and fitness is a real thing, hey?
Yeah,
especially when you're doing that daily.
Like we'd get up in the morning, like 4:45. You have a cup of tea and a bit of toast at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
And we go out, but this is why they worked it there, like on Harden Park. You did all your jobs, milked the cow, fed the pigs, you bloody run around or whatever you're doing. And 8 o'clock breakfast was.
Yes, yeah.
And then had breakfast, and, you went about your business all day. And, she was a big day. No, there's Ida McLean was Lex's wife, and his mother was the Wills.
Okay.
A descendant of the Wills. The Wills is from Culnaringo there.
Yep.
Where the Wills massacre was out.
He's
a descendant of them.
Yeah,
His mother was, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Gordon McLean and Lex their mother was Wills. And they took that place up in 1919, I think, or 17. 1917, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
And they used to get a North Queensland Register paper, Longreach Leader, and the Country Life, and the magazine, a book called The Pastoral Review, which I think came out once a month.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And when you read the papers, I used to read like I wanted to learn all about the pastoral industry.
Get into it, yep.
And when you finished it, you put them in the office, you'd lay them there.
Yep.
And he had the papers there from 1917, every paper.
Holy smokes, that's cool.
Yeah, unreal. Kept them.
Oh, that's crazy.
And he had an original copy, one of the few copies of Major Mitchell's diaries.
Really?
And he had this library there. I used to read a lot. I still read a lot of history, and I just loved them. And then he had an encyclopedia, set of encyclopedias. It was A to Z of the pastoral holdings in Queensland.
Wow.
And and you could read right back, and they went back to up to 1917, as I say. So we'll say Lansdowne Station.
Yeah, sure.
It was taken up by Landsborough in 1886.
Wow.
Or whatever. At the time, you had two faithful servants for this one and this one, and 4 Aboriginal stockmen
Yep.
and 2 Chinese shepherds.
Wow.
His first wool clip was 10 bales of wool,
Yep.
which he put on wool wagons and carted them to Rockhampton. And
Wow.
just brilliant history right up to 1917 when, yeah.
Wow.
And even the names of the people. Cooks, mate.
That's unreal.
I tried to get hold of them, but yeah, they went astray a bit there.
Ah, it's a shame.
The old fella died, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Jeez, I hope that stuff got preserved, eh?
Yeah, I do too, you know. Like,
You don't want to hear that stuff just getting thrown out or destroyed or put away or whatever.
Unfortunately, a lot of it does, but
yeah. Well, that's the whole point of this stuff, mate. That's to preserve some of that history that people hear.
I've got one naughty story. A little bit. I'll tell
Tell me.
I apologise to Knuckles for telling this one again, but when we were there's an old cowboy by the name of Bluey Chevenin.
Yeah.
And he did the gardening and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
The old fellow was a good stockman in his time, still used to ride a bit.
Yeah.
And he lived in the men's quarters there, a couple of little quarters, and then there's a shearer's quarters which had 2 septic toilets.
Okay, yep.
On the end. And they used to use them all year round, those toilets.
Yep.
Well, then come shearing time.
Yeah.
And it was a 5 or 6 board stand. You had 6 shearers, you had your wool presser and your rouseabouts and your boss of the board and all them, you know. And they camped there in the shearers' quarters.
Yeah.
And they used these 2 septic toilets.
Okay, yep.
Anyway, after a couple of days, these septic toilets are blocked up. So I'm there in Blue and the boss, Alex, says, "Now listen, Blue," he said, "those septic toilets are blocked up. You have to go and unblock them."
Yeah.
You know. And anyway, and Blue said, "Now listen here, Lex," he said, "I live here all year round. I shit here all year round. No problems." He said, "These big mongrel shearers," he said, "they come here, eat like horses," he said, "turds like footballs, block up the septic, and you want me to clean the bastard up? You can get stuffed." So guess who had to clean the septic? Old Jackaroo fella, that old Murray fella. I had to clean it. I had to rake her out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Turds like football. Turds like football. Oh, dear. There's another story. There's a lot of funny things happen there.
How long did you end up doing it out there?
About 18 months there.
18 months, yeah.
But I was getting, like, in that period, I helped the stud groom take the stud cattle from we did the Blackhall show, the Barcaldine show and the Longreach show.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, sure.
And anyway, I won at Blackhall. I won the young judges. They were short-on cattle. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, wow, yeah.
One of the best bloodlines in Queensland at the time. I won the young judges competition.
Oh, did you? Good
at Blackhall then, we had to judge. They picked out 2 of us, and we had 6 heifers, and we had to judge 1 to 6.
Yep.
And why we judged this one, why we judged them. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool how I noticed that they still do that at the show here in town.
Yeah, they do.
It's cool that
that's
cool how they keep that sort of tradition going.
Yep. No, it gets, like I've always been, like from what old Lex wasn't a real good stockman, like that's what my dad was.
Yes.
But he was a brilliant judge of a beast.
Yes.
And on that stud, they used to castrate or cut 66 out of 100 of the bull calves out of the stud.
Wow.
They got cut. They were what I used to call stud bullocks.
Yeah.
And the other, 33% was the they sold as stud bulls.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I said to Lex once, "Why are you so heavy on your casting your young stud bulls?"
Yeah, that's a good question.
And he said, "Terry," "I'll never sell a bad bull." His standards set high.
That high, yeah. Okay, that was the percentage of them.
I'll never sell a bad bull.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty honourable.
Anyway, I did the shows, Blackhall, and and I went to Longreach. This is a bit of a funny story. The Walkers had Cumberland and Tara in those days, and the Santa Gertrudis bulls, so the big name, Santa Gertrudis.
Yeah.
Big money.
Oh, yeah.
Big name. Walkers. I was camped in my swag in the stalls there with these. We had 2 bulls and 3 heifers, I think.
Yep.
Anyway, I was laying there, and through the night there's a bit of bellowing. And there's something going on here, so I just sort of had a bit of a look. And there was an exhibit that had Murray Grey.
Yeah.
Murray Grey cattle there for the first time.
Oh, okay.
Little Murray Grey cattle.
Yeah.
And here's this stud groom, or whatever position was. She's leading her Murray Grey cow over put the Santa Gertrudis bull up on the Murray Grey cow. And I just said, holy hell. I just ducked out. I didn't want to see this. But anyway, the next day, I'm walking over to get a bit of lunch, and she's coming back, and she got a cup of coffee in one hand. She ain't a little girl, and she had a hamburger or something in the other hand. And as I said, you're trying to put a bit of size in those Murray Greys last night, were you? Well, she let out a squawk, and the coffee went this way, and the bloody burger went that way, and she took off.
Did she?
Bloody, there's Lex Walker. I told his daughter.
Yeah.
She's out there now. She's sort of one of the bosses of the Longreach Stocklands Hall of Fame. I told her that last year. Well, she bloody laughed. She laughed and laughed. Rosemary Champion was his daughter, Lex.
Yeah.
What's her name? Daughter. And I told her that story. Well, she thought that was the funniest thing,
Oh, that's brilliant, mate.
That girl, every she see me, she'd take off. She didn't want to see me. She didn't want to see me again.
Oh, shit. How long did you do that shows out there for?
Just for the length of the show.
The length, okay,
show,
yeah.
And
then it was on the circuit thing, so they do the long.
It was a show circuit. We just did the local ones.
Yeah,
we just did Blackhall, Buckhall, and Longreach. Yeah. There's a funny story. When I used to go into, because the sheep stations, even though they had cattle, you never ate beef.
Yeah,
and just this one got run over. You had mutton, bloody 3 times a day, just about.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And I used to go to town because we always had plenty of variety at home.
Yeah.
And Dad was a bit of an old beef eater, and I'd go to town and I'd get a T-bone.
Yeah.
Big T-bone and chips. That was,
oh, wow.
That was a big deal. Have a
big deal.
Bit of beef.
Meal.
Old beef eater.
Yeah.
Anyway, but at the Greek Cafe in Blackhall, there was a deal there. I never paid for my meals because the boss they'd send him an account.
Yep.
I wasn't in town that much. It was very,
very rare.
But I walked in and they'd give me a wave and I'd sit down. They'd bring my T-bone up and I'd have it and I'd walk out. See, so I go to Barcaldine show.
Yeah,
Greek people at the Barcaldine Cafe. Got a T-bone. I went in, had my T-bone, and just walked out. Yeah. Just not even.
Oh, not even thinking about it.
Not even thinking. And I'm walking down the street, showtimes, everyone there. This Greek, he's, come on back, you didn't pay for your meal. You run away from it. I said, oh, mate, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I got plenty of money on it. Oh, what did he give it to me down the street? And everyone's looking. This little mongrel's run away trying to get out of paying for it.
Because you're just so used to it.
So used to it.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I felt embarrassed to go. Everyone said, look at this little mongrel. He's trying
to run away from
paying his bill.
Get a free meal.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I suppose you would be used to that, but if it's kind of totally innocent, eh?
Yeah. No, they were Mrs. McLean and Lex, they were very good to me.
Were they?
They looked after me. I'd just tell another quick story there.
Yeah, go for it.
There's a fellow by the name of Tommy Scanlon. I'm reading him in his latest book about agents.
Yeah.
He was a manager in primaries in Blackwell at the time.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And he used to come out and buy the bullocks, these stud bullocks, they're beautiful bullocks, And after the deal was done, I'd come back to the house and Mrs. McLean would be there and she'd have the silver service and she'd have a couple of big tallies of beer,
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, and she had these beautiful big crystal glasses like wine glasses.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So she'd pour the beer out into the glass, and I think sometimes Bob McIntosh was there, the other livestock buyer, and there was Lex and her and I was there, and she'd pour this beer, and she'd pour it about 1.5 inches from the top of this glass,
Yeah.
Then she had an ice bucket with a set of tongs, and she's putting the block of ice cube in each glass of beer. And she said, keeps it cold, keeps it cold. And these old cattle miners, he put ice in this beer. Oh, yes, that was good.
Yeah, that's great.
She never knew. And no, never told her. And she never knew that she was doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
She's just keeping it cold.
Yeah, of course.
Keeping it cold.
Oh, darling.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, good. Plenty of time. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, bloody, we're still about an hour if you want. Yeah.
Yep. You want to have a little break for a sec?
Yeah,
you
want
some water? Can you cut?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, take a break.
Yeah.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, well, at Blackhall, there was a mailman there by the name of Gordon Lawson.
Okay,
He used to work for Fitzgerald's Transport.
Yep.
He'd bring our mail a couple of times a week. The funniest man, an old drover fella.
Yep.
I think there's a policeman in town. His wife might have been his daughter. But anyway, he'd always tell us the scandal from in town, what was going on, And anyway, he came out once and Paradise Downs was next door.
Okay, yeah.
And these Benson boys, and Stewie Benson's still out in that country now, got a sort of like a museum.
Oh, wow, cool.
And Stewie managed, actually, I'll go on with another story there. He managed East Lynn next door to Harden Park where I worked.
Okay, yep.
And anyway, Stewie is a bit of a larrikin. But anyway, we'll go back to Gordon and these boys, and he said, those Benson boys, first thing in the morning, because the manager's away, they'd run all the stud bulls in.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Put a girth around them, and they'd buck them out, learning fraction for the rodeo.
Oh, for the rodeo, yeah, sure.
For the rodeo,
yeah,
come on.
Yeah.
So, and the same old bulls every morning. First job was run the bulls in, buck them out. And anyway, and this buddy Gordon said, he said, Paradise Downs, he says, the only station in Queensland where the stud bulls got girth galls. We've been bucked out. There's girth galls. He's a funny man. So I told him I was leaving, I was going to the territory.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And he said to me, geez, he said, Terry, he said, there's a lot of smart men in the territory.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. He said, there's a lot of smart men in the territory, Oh, yeah. He said, a lot of smart men in the territory. And he set me up, and I said, well, why? How's that, Gordon? Have you been up there? He said, no. He said, I've never seen a smart bastard come out of there. They must be all still up there, he reckoned. I had this old saddle, and he said, boy, you're going to have to update that saddle if you're going up there into the stock camps, he said.
Really? Why did you make the change? Why did you want to change? Was it just a change of venue or like scenery?
No, not really. No, I did. I liked it at Harden Park, but as I said, sheep. Just give you, I didn't say before, but when I got there, like so were all hard times, old fellas.
Yeah, okay.
And he said, we've got to wig the ewes,
Yeah.
There's about 3,000-4,000 ewes, all pretty well stud-bred ewes.
Yeah.
And you wigged them, and I had to wig them with the hand shears.
Oh, okay.
By hand?
By hand, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to put 17 in a pen, wig them by hand, then jet them,
Yeah, of course.
And one by one, old boss would hold them. And my wrists used to ache at night.
I was going to say, they'd be fucked.
From bloody, so clever, these bloody wool around the eyes, these poor old ewes, But anyway, and sheep, I just, I wasn't real happy working sheep because Dad was a drover out of the Gulf for a while, and he was a good stockman, a real good rough rider, and I wanted to be like Dad was.
Yeah, of course.
And I wasn't going to do it.
Footsteps.
I wasn't going to do it at Harden Park there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A great deal.
Yep.
A lot of knowledge I learnt there. I still keep today. And I treasure it. And they were good old people. They treated me like a son.
Yep.
They were good to work for. So anyway, I go to Brunette Downs. I'll just go probably a bit about Brunette Downs.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
It was 4,760 square miles.
Holy smokes.
Without an outstation, just one station, no outstations.
Wow.
Massive. And when I was there, I run about 90,000 head of cattle.
Holy smokes.
90,000. But the early history of one of the most famous early explorers was a fellow by the name of Nat Buchanan.
Yep.
In my books, he was the king
Yeah, okay.
Nat
Rightio.
Buchanan.
Nat Buchanan.
And the Aboriginal people at the time used to call him Paraway. You come from Paraway, a long way away.
Yeah, long way away. Yeah, Paraway, yeah. Yeah, wow.
And Ted Egan sings a song about Paraway.
Oh, really?
Sings a song about
wow, that's cool.
Northern Territory songwriter and that.
Yeah, sure.
Singer. Anyway, Nat Buchanan discovered it, and it was taken up later on, and it's followed by Harry Redford.
Yep.
Or Reedford, some people call him. He was one of the early managers of there.
Yeah.
And he had stolen about 3,000, I think, head of cattle from Bowen Downs.
Yeah, right. Holy shit.
Which is north of Longreach there.
Yes, yep.
And he pioneered, him and a fellow by Lansborough, the explorer, pioneered it. And these cattle were driven in a good season all the way from up north of Longreach, all the way down the Cooper, down the Thompson, down the Cooper, and then down Streslecki Creek, right down in New South Wales.
Holy smokes.
And anyway, they were sold down there. But however, there was a white shorthorn bull.
Okay,
And that's where you get a bit of local history there.
Yeah.
He was owned by the Archers out here at Grace Beer Station.
Oh, true. Wow, small
And that
world.
bull had come from England, right? You imagine this. He come from England on a ship.
Yep.
And he might have got out here at Fitzroy River, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Came to Grace Beer Station. Then he was walked to Bowen Downs.
Holy shit.
Then he was stolen by Harry Redford and these other fellows with him.
Shit.
Fellow Dupney. And anyway, they walked him all the way down. And this white bull, he kept on following along. They kept on hunting him because he was branded.
Yeah,
he had
of course.
the Archer brand on him, see?
Yeah, of course.
And he kept hunting him. And he kept following him along. But anyway, when he got down there, he sold all his cattle. And then someone identified the white bull.
Yeah.
And meantime, they were tracking him up from up there, following tracks right down all that way down into the bottom of South Australia.
Wow.
But anyway, cut a long story short, they all scattered in different ways. He finished up, he had a hotel down in New South Wales.
Yeah.
I just can't think of the place now. I know it well. And then he got caught.
Yep.
He got identified, and he went to the district court in Roma.
Wow.
And the jury, like a jury.
Yep.
And this bull, he was shipped from Adelaide all the way around to Brisbane.
Was he a witness?
He was the main exhibit. Here's Exhibit A, the white bull. He was the main big exhibit. And he's gone from there.
Yeah.
I'd say he would have probably gone by train, not real sure of that, from Brisbane to the Roma District Court as the exhibit. They
Wow.
held him there, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, the jury say not guilty.
Really? They said not guilty.
The jury said not guilty, and the
Oh,
judge
shit.
said, well, ladies and gentlemen, the jury is a pretty famous case that I'm pleased it's your decision, that it certainly wouldn't be mine,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And it become very famous, this Nat Buchanan, who sort of place that they were stolen from.
Yeah.
And this Redford was there, and he worked on Burnett Downs.
Wow.
And right back after that, I'm not real sure of the exact year, but he drowned crossing Corella Creek.
Did he really?
On Burnett
Drowned?
Downs, Harry Redford in the latter years.
Later years, yeah.
And it was 1972, late 72. I was head stockman of Camp 2 on Burnett. I was taking 3,000 weaner heifers, imagine.
Wow,
a lot of
3,000 of them.
weaner heifers, a lot of bloody mounted men too, crossing. There's the old Corella yards,
Yeah.
Corella Creek yards, big old wooden yards. And we had a hell zone trouble yarding these bloody weaner heifers. Anyway, we got them in there. It's just on dark, and we're riding across to the camp, and there's an old fellow by the name Tommy Dodds, an old horse tailor I had with me.
Yeah, sure.
He, I said, what's that rock scattered around there,
Yeah.
He said, oh, that's where Harry Redford's buried there on the edges
Bullshit.
of
Really?
He's buried there.
Wow.
Anyway, in 2011, I went back
Yeah.
to try and find
Yeah.
the spot.
Yeah.
But now they have sort of some rails around it.
Okay.
And
So they still got it marked there.
yeah, it's marked. But it wasn't then. It was just these rocks scattered around.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And we found his old hut and his old horse yards.
You're kidding me. Wow.
I kept a few old little bits of
Yeah, of course.
wire from that horse yard, But Yeah, he was very famous, Harry Redford, probably the most famous. Robbery Under Arms is a book written by Ralph Boulderwood.
Yep.
It's about that story.
Is it
of
really?
him stealing those cattle and
What
of
a cool
course,
story.
Like most people thought it was a great feat
Yep.
to take cattle, all these cattle, all the way, and no one sort of, he hadn't been down that way before.
Yeah, so he like
So he was a hero.
Yeah.
He was like a hero status.
like the anti-hero, like the vigilante, like
he was a
Batman.
He was a hero, and
That's
and
crazy.
Obviously, a brilliant horseman, brilliant stockman, brilliant drover, and he was just lucky that there were real good seasons.
Yeah, sure.
Down the Cooper, and it's just lucky in the cattle he folded down.
Yeah.
But so that's really the early history of Burnett. A fellow by A.J. White, very famous Queensland cattleman. He owned it for a while, and then it went into the White family from Gundawindi.
Okay, yeah.
The Gozo family, and in the 60s, early 60s or late 50s, I think, King Ranch, Australia, purchased Burnett Downs and from the Whites.
Yep.
And the King Ranch was owned by a fellow by the name of Clayburgh.
Okay, yeah, sure.
From America.
And
Clayburgh had King Ranch, America had 80,000 acres and 80 oil wells.
80 oil wells.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. You can imagine the wealth.
Yeah. And he was the founder and the father of the Santa Gertrudis breed.
Oh, really? Okay.
He bred a red bull that was 5/8 Shorthorn, 3/8 Brahman cross.
Yep.
And his first bull he bred was a bull called Monkey.
Okay.
Called him Monkey, yeah.
Monkey.
And
that's cool, man.
That's Monkey, yeah. And at Burnett itself, because it was TB country, they had 1,000 square mile double fenced in the middle of the state, and all inside there was their stud cattle.
Yeah, wow, okay.
And I've seen the biggest running W King Ranch from America cows there I've ever seen in my life. And,
really?
And it's beautiful. And they were trying to get all the Shorthorn herd crossed over and gradually build up a really good Santa Gertrudis herd.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
And I was there sort of in that transition period.
Yep.
But I left Brisbane, flew to Mount Isa.
Yep.
And got on a plane called Conair, Conellans Airlines.
Oh, really?
DC-3.
Oh, yep, DCs, yep.
DC-3. From Mount Isa, Burnett, landed there.
So that'd be like the old tail one or two, the tail ended on the plane. You had to go and lift it up.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Old DCs, yeah.
And arrived on a Sunday at Burnett there, met a few people, and next morning they said, you got to be up 3:30. You'll be on the back of a Land Rover,
really?
Heading out to this paddock, and we'll see how you go.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So the idea was to test you out, your riding ability, how you caught a horse, how you saddled a horse, and excuse me, if you're good enough, and then you go straight into the stock camp.
Okay, radio.
3:30 in the morning, dark, cold, heading out to this turkey's nest where these horses are inside, waiting for us to catch them, just on picking any daylight. Anyway, that's all right. This Jackie Cotton, who was, they used to call him Yellow Jackie.
Yeah, okay.
He was the boss. He was the actual butcher there, but he was the boss. He would assess everybody that came there if they were good enough to go into the stock camp, or they stayed at the stud and did more stock work until they good enough because, so anyway, I got, Jackie said, catch that mare, and I caught her, and big tall mare, and saddled her up, and they sort of watched everyone. And we're riding down this fence line, and he's the loveliest man, Jackie Cotton, the loveliest man.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm holding this mare up. She wanted to eat.
Yeah, okay, right.
And holding her head up, and anyway, he rode up, like you kick him along. Come on, walk along, instead of eating. You got work to do, And he walked up beside me, or rode up beside me and said, Terry, he said, not much feed back there in that turkey's nest paddock. Give her a feed,
yeah.
So I let the reins go, and she fed along and had a bit of a giggle, and I said, right, Jackie, no worries, I'll let her feed,
Yeah.
So anyway, we chased these bloody bulls all around and yarded them at the station yards, and then In the afternoon, we pulled our saddles off our horses, and I said to him, "Well, how'd I go, Jack?" And he said, "You'll be going out to stock camp tomorrow morning." He said, "Yeah, straight out there."
Yeah, that's cool. It's pretty cool that's how you did your resume type thing.
Yeah,
that's what you did. You just showed your skills.
Yeah, and like there was a lot of us. I think there was only about 2 of us that went out.
Oh, really?
They stayed behind, and
wow.
So then out to Camp 2.
Camp 2.
Head stockman Reg Anger.
Okay, yeah.
We come from the Dingo Drinker country.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Born and bred out of here.
Yep.
Big fella. He's 6'4", I suppose. Big rough fella. Tough fella. Good bloke. And, learned a lot there from him.
How old would you have been roughly then?
18.
18. So this is happening, you're only 18.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it? How much of a life you've already lived and you're only 18.
18.
Wow.
And so they had we used to have about 155 horses, 156 horses in the plant.
Yeah.
And these are all hobbled up.
Okay. Yeah.
With Aboriginal horse tailors.
Yeah, okay.
Put the hobbles on them, and the brunette horses were numbered.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
And Reg would say, catch number 27 for Terry,
Yep.
And I look at these Aboriginal stockmen, and they all be giggling, laughing, and when you knew they were giggling, they knew that this horse is going to buck with me, you say, you always say, look, is this horse rude a bit, and they always say, a little bit sometime, eh? A little bit sometime. If you translated that to equals, a big bit all the time, eh?
I love that.
That was a bit of a translation.
Yeah, shit show.
So anyway, so I fairly smartly learned to hang up a bit, ride a bit, because if you didn't, you'd spend your day on the ground,
Yeah, of course.
But the stockmen were just brilliant. Aboriginal stockmen taught me a lot.
Wow, that's awesome.
About tracking, throwing bulls, just a lot of the brilliant skills. Lovely people to work for.
Yeah, awesome.
to work with.
Yeah,
always happy, good-natured. Laugh, they laugh,
It sounds like you just had a great vibe out there, eh? Just
great.
Mate, it was a great life out there.
I never ever. So the greatest time of my life was out there in the stock camp.
Yeah,
and we had there's a few white fellas there with us. And one fella, Maxie Ferris, I'd ring him every week, worked there together. He was a young fella, I was a young fella, come there together, and we sort of kicked into buddy, stock camp. And, and like the idea was learn to handle large numbers of cattle.
Yep.
Like 2,000 or 3,000 head was common sort of yard up.
That's crazy.
Branding.
That's crazy.
And the biggest mob I ever, when I was head stockman, I yarded 5,600 steers in one mob.
Wow.
At the... Big Hole Yard.
Holy smokes.
56.
5,600.
Yeah, yep.
Holy shit.
And we did all our branding in those days with the Bronco branding.
Okay.
With big heavy horses.
Yeah.
Percherons and Clydesdales and ropes.
Wow, yeah,
and
sure.
Catch the calves in the Bronco yards.
Yep.
Pull them up and brand them and castrate them. And
wow.
it was all bloody hard work. But
it would have been, mate.
But young and fit and
and
active. We didn't worry. We just loved. We were getting experience. We were learning. It was all really good experience. And as I said, they taught me a lot.
What was it, like sun up to sundown type of work?
Oh,
or was it,
before time.
Yeah.
Head stockman later on, Charlie Shan. Sometimes we'd leave the camp there at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Walk and trot 10 mile before we did anything.
That's amazing.
To get out to where you're mustering.
Like, what was how far were you from the closest town? Just to give people an idea, roughly. So, like, if
probably
you wanted...
Camberwell. Camberwell was the closest town, which would be, I'm trying to think. It's got to be 600K probably.
That's crazy.
And the other way was Tennant Creek.
Yeah.
Was probably a bit less.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And when you went north, probably Burralula, which was God knows how long.
Yeah.
1,000 something, yeah.
So just, it's just for the listeners to get a bit of an idea of get a bit of
it was
geographical sense.
You went west to Camberwell and you went up what they call a beef road.
Yeah.
And they sort of had Alroy Downs and Brunette was the next place, but his homestead was in further.
Yeah. And what did you do for your downtime? Like, what did you?
we didn't have any downtime.
I was going to say, did you?
What we do, we come into the station on Saturday night.
Yep.
Do a bit of washing.
Yep.
And get your mail or whatever.
Yep.
And we had to be gone the stockhand had to be out of there by 5:30 Sunday morning.
Wow.
So she'd be working all day.
Wow.
7 days a week.
Yeah. So there you go. That's a great idea.
Really, probably your downtime was the brunette races.
Yeah.
The station races or the area.
Yep, sure.
Which was over about a week. And you had a week.
Yeah, okay.
In that week, you were doing stuff for the station.
Yeah.
Horses. I'll tell a story there. What's her name? We did. They had what they call the stockman's race.
Yep.
And they had a big black horse called Ebony, and it was what they called drop starts, lined up, and they sort of threw the hand down and go,
Yeah.
And they used to have these race horses on Brunette that never got work much until race time. And this big, long-legged, big black horse could gallop a town down, but the only thing, he wouldn't turn to the offside. Bit of a problem with the racehorse when you got to come around the bend and go down the straight to the offside. So this Jackie Cotton, he was trained us, and he said, "Terry, I'll put you on Ebony." He said, "Big, strong fella." Mm-hmm. He said, he win any race, but he said, what you got to do, he said, when you get the start, keep him on the inside rail and keep him behind the other horses.
Yeah.
Because they'll take him round the corner.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
And once you get in around that corner, let him go. He'll beat anything on the station, anything in the district.
Yeah.
Because everyone else knew this too, didn't they? I'm swinging off this big bus, and we come up to the corner, and they're all hanging back because there's no outside rail. I went out, did a big circle around the flat, lined him up, straightened him up, and come down the straight. But it still comes second last. There's one fella bucking around behind me coming last. But I reckon I got more cheers than the fella that won. Big Ebony, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
That was funny.
Oh, shit.
But
how long did you end up spending it out there for?
I was there until 72.
72.
Yeah, and then I got in the end of 71. Or towards the end of 71, I was given this Reg Angus head stockman's job.
Yeah, rightio. Yeah.
And there's a fellow by the name of John Crane, was the livestock overseer in Brunette.
Yeah, okay.
He went down to Kurrabulka Station. He left King Ranch and went down to a big company called Napco. Managed in Kurrabulka.
Okay, yeah.
And he went down there, and then he was looking for a head stockman.
Yep.
And he wrote to me and did want to come down. I was getting $50 a week.
Yeah, you got up from 28 to 50.
To 50, run the camp. That was big money.
Yeah, bloody hell.
And then down there I could get, I think he put me on straight off on 75.
Yeah.
And my own house. And I think if you work Sundays with Queensland, the territory ward was just open slow. The Queensland ward, I think if you worked a Sunday, you got paid on a Sunday. Paid Sunday pay sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I came down there, and I was there through till 76 when I'll tell you more about that later on. When I joined the police, but
that would be on the next episode.
But and that's why I sort of I left there and sort of went to Kurrabulka Station.
Okay.
Between Bullion and Baduri.
Okay, yeah, sure.
John Craney is the livestock manager there.
Yeah.
Like Brunette was a massive place, had about 96 employees.
Really? That many?
That's including the whites and Aboriginal people.
Yep.
And that's women. There was housemaids and cooks
everything.
And some, not so much cooks, but their own saddler.
Wow, their own saddler.
Own saddler, yeah.
Wow.
Mark Newman was the saddler.
Yep.
Famous Mark Newman Polies, Brunette Polies.
Yeah.
Made his own saddles, made hundreds of them.
Wow.
Mal Kirk, he was the road train driver.
Yeah,
Had their own Mack trucks. They had a station store, which was groceries. Yeah,
sure.
And an industrial store, like windmill parts and pipes and soldering and all that sort of stuff. They had a diesel mechanic and a petrol mechanic.
Yep.
They had 2 bore runners.
Yep.
I'll tell you more about that when I did a bit of that.
Yeah.
Which did the northern side of the station and the bottom side.
Yeah.
On a day's bore run, they do about 90 mile.
Wow.
And like start pumps, clean troughs.
Sure.
They'd run around all the bores, and it was like on a circuit type.
How many would there have been roughly, you reckon?
On bores?
Yeah.
There was 147 bores on Brunette at the time. And I think when King Ranch bought it from the Whites, I think from memory there was about 46 or something.
Oh wow! So they pumped another 100 plus.
They put all And there's another.
Would you do how long did it take you to do that? A day.
That's one circuit, but
circuit.
You did it for 5 days.
Oh, 5 days. I was going to say, holy shit!
You did a different circuit every day.
Yeah, okay.
One ball run did the southern end of the.
Yeah.
Actually, really the western end, and one ball runner did the eastern end.
Yeah,
eastern side.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
But then you had, I said the 2 diesel mechanics. Then you had.
Of course you would have.
You had a diesel and a petrol mechanic. Then you had a handyman.
Yeah.
Around the station, he did a bit of carpentering, a bit of plumbing, a bit of whatever. Then you had a gardener.
You'd have to, wouldn't you?
Yep. And then you had a station bookkeeper.
Wow.
And he had 2 staff in his office there. Then you had, like I said, industrial storekeeper and a station storekeeper. And then you had windmill experts. You had 2 trucks.
Of course.
Two trucks. With 3 men in each.
Yep.
Big Bedford trucks pulling these big windmills.
Yeah.
Pulling the casing up and that. And there was 3 Aboriginal people in those 2 trucks. Brilliant windmill men, yeah.
Yeah. Did you like? Can you imagine like I guess the Stormans were having to? You imagine like the food run and all of it.
Yeah.
It would have been like truckloads.
Well,
crazy.
Give you an idea. Like the stock camps, we had a big aluminium caravan.
Yeah. Okay.
Like with a gas stove up one end.
Yeah.
And a good sized fridge and cupboards and that.
Yep.
At the station, like Jackie Cotton was a butcher later on for a while.
Yeah.
He'd kill every afternoon.
Yeah.
He'd kill a big beast, a bullock or a cow, fat bullock.
Yeah.
Every afternoon, and 2 on Fridays.
Wow.
And at the time, there was a big camp of Aboriginals lived there at the station.
Yep.
And the station supplied them with beef.
Yep.
And the cook there, Pommy Bob Fulston, he used to make about 80 to 90 loaves of bread every morning.
Holy smokes.
And I'll tell you more about that as I was in there for a while.
Well, yeah. You know how to bake a loaf there?
Oh, yeah. I did. I learned a bit there. And anyway, so they killed, and this is just, I'll go on expand a little bit here.
Yeah, definitely.
They killed 6 beasts a week. 6 a week.
Wow.
That's at the station.
Yeah.
2 mobile stock camps would kill usually 1 a week.
Yeah,
sometimes it might be a bit less. It'd go when the meat run out. It might be, say, roughly 1 a week.
Yeah.
Had 2 what they call contract tailors or contract musterers.
Yeah.
And they killed, say, roughly 1 a week.
Wow.
So you got 2, 4, you got 4, 6, 8, and 14. 14 a week.
Holy smokes.
You multiply it by 52.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of beef that you're eating. That's and they put it down. They used to call it rations. That was your rations beef.
Wow.
That's rations beef. Yeah.
That's rations.
And that's on Brunette. Yeah, like.
Wow.
And of course I got to give it to them. We had good food in the stock camp.
Yeah.
If you had a good cook.
If you had a good cook. Yeah. Did you ever have the experience of dealing with a shit cook?
Well, then, I'll get around to just after I arrived.
Yeah.
And Reg Angus, the cook, and as they did in those days, they'd hide it crack and they'd get a bit dry and they'd have to take off.
Okay,
so Reg come and said, righto, you young fellas, I think there's 4 of white fellas, young fellas, you got to cook, for about 20.
Yep.
Do a week, then for. Anyway, I couldn't cook, I'd bloody just cook a feed for myself. So I went into Bob Fulston, lovely fella, history of the territory, Bob Fulston, the cook in Brunette there for 40 years or something.
Wow.
Since King Ranch started.
Yeah, okay.
And anyway, he gave me a CWA Bundaberg edition cookbook.
Okay, yeah, CWA.
Everything in there, and if like it's down to the basic facts, if your water's not boiling, put it back on the stove for a bit longer. Like this sort of thing. And I did a week. I did my week cooking. See, I did a couple of weeks actually.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got the cookbook, and I said, my old man said, if you can read, you can cook. because you follow the instructions, you know. If you can read, you can cook. So anyway, I want to make a good scone, in a good scone. So I had a sunshine milk tin scone recipe. I had the Bundaberg edition recipe, and I had another recipe. And I couldn't get these scones to rise. So I like bloody rock cakes. And I'd always bury me failures. I'd dig a hole and bury me failures. Bury failures.
Bury me failures.
Anyway, one day we had a dingo fellow, I think his name was Ballard, old dingo trapper, you know, he used to come around.
Yep.
And he always knew when smoko time was on in the stock camp. He'd turn up because he'd get something to eat for smoko and a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And anyway, I'd made these bloody scones, and the last bit of the bloody scone dough, I jammed in a saucepan lid.
Yeah.
Well, the rest were rock cakes. You need a jackhammer to cut them. And this one, he rose about 6 inches high, and he's the size of a saucepan lid. He's the biggest, fattest, tallest scone in the world, you know.
Yeah.
And I got this scone, you know. And he comes in and he says, it's the scones. I said, yeah. I said, it's the only one I got left. I said, geez, he said, you make good scones. He said, I said, would you like some of the scones? So I cut it up, and him and I ate it. And I said, no, that's the only one left. And the only one that rose, and rose like all the bloody bacon, powder and bacon, must have been all of that one bloody scone. And every time he'd see someone in the camp, that bloody Terry said, geez, he's a good scone cook. He said, he makes the biggest and best scones in the territory. He said,
that's brilliant.
But anyway, there's another story. And yeah, no, we had a lot of fun.
Mate,
but I tried to feed them the best I could.
Yeah, it sounds like it. No, but like when you like, I guess you know the experiences of that, mate. They would make the best times. Like
we camped on the ground in the swag.
Yeah, that's what you did. Yeah,
in our swag.
It's a lifestyle you'd be so used to. Like you get so
and
comfortable.
Like it was tough, and you know, like a lot of people say, oh, I wouldn't go out there, I wouldn't do that. Oh no. I said, well, we enjoyed it. We were young fellas.
Of course you would.
And Reg Anger used to say, like, he'd always say, if he wanted to hurry up, he'd say, chop, 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 chop. That means, buddy, step it up a bit, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, he'd call out daylight and you know, and he'd be only kidding because there wasn't much daylight about. It was only a joke when he said daylight because that was a funny one.
Yeah,
There's no daylight. You get out of your swag. You always roll your swag.
You always rolled it every morning?
Yeah, keep the snakes out of it.
No, that's good.
Yeah,
good
bloody
call.
out for daytime.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
In that lake country, in the Sylvester Lake country, death hatters would climb under your swag at night time.
True shit.
True story. True shit.
Wow. Yeah.
You always down that country. You always slid your swag back.
Yeah.
To make sure there's no death hatters under.
Okay.
But we had one fella there in the camp. I won't mention his name, but his Christian name was Mick. And his Reg is always up about rolling his swag, see?
Yeah.
And we had these Bronco horses, these are the big heavy horses that pull the calves up to Brandon.
Oh, okay, yeah,
like
sure.
Percherons and Clydesdales.
Yep.
And they were real friendly. You know, they come up around, we give them a bit of bread or whatever.
Yeah.
And this old big old horse, he was up around about. And Reg said to this fella, roll your swag. And he didn't roll his swag.
Yeah.
And bloody, anyway, one day when his swag wasn't rolled, this bloody big Bronco horse, he's coming in, hanging around the camp for a bit of bread, and he bloody shit right in the middle of his swag, right in the middle of it. There's a big pile of horse shit on top of his swag. Well, I tell you what, he rolled her up the next day.
Yeah, he fucking would have too. Lesson learned.
Another time, and this is bloody, not even going Reg because he was a good fella.
Yeah.
But we were yarding cattle up, and there was a big mob of us. I don't know whether Maxie Ferris was there that day, but Aboriginals and white fellas.
Yep.
And he sort of had a bit of a habit of racing into the mob at the yards.
Yeah, sure.
And then we're trying to bring the cows and calves back and whatever, because you're putting them there for big Bronco yards for branding the calves. Anyway, and he was pushing them back, and I got the shits with him. I was yelled out, come out of there, you big jackaroo bastard, I said to him. And I was riding a little mare called Jake, a little thoroughbred mare.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And he was riding he's a big fun, riding this big young horse called Bungie, I think.
Oh, nice.
when I said, come here there, you big jackaroo bastard. Well, he's after me with the whip. He's trying to drop the bloody whip on me, see? Yeah. And I'm like Georgie Moore, hands and heels on this mare. I'm bloody flat. And he's up behind me, cracking the whip. And he said, come back. And I'm telling him, get stuffed. I'm not coming back. Get flogged,
Yeah.
So anyway, I go out, and they yard the cattle, and then it gets on, because at night time they hobble all the horses up.
Oh, yeah.
The horse tailors, Aboriginal horse tailors, do a tremendous job. And anyway, I'm thinking, I've got to go and face this big bastard. He gonna punch me for 50 metres, this big girl, Anyway, I went and let my mare go, and I hobbled her out, and I carried my saddle into the camp, and he was there in the caravan. He was sitting on a seat right at the back of the caravan.
Yeah.
And the cook wasn't there. This is later. And I walked up and I opened the door, and he said, your dinner's here. And that's all he said. Your dinner's here. Well, thank Christ for that. I tell you, I'd never seen a bloke eat his dinner so bloody quick that night. She was down the shed in about 2 minutes, I reckon, outside, into the swag. That's all I said. And your dinner's here. I thought, oh God. But he was a good fella.
He was a good fella. What did your dinners mainly consist of? Was it that like a beast, like beef and bread and stuff like that?
Yeah. But if you had a good cook, they'd cook
all kinds of stuff.
It was all beef dishes. You never saw much mutton or fish or chicken. It was all beef.
It was all beef, yeah.
But cooked different. When we had a hell of a lot of salt beef, corned beef.
Oh yeah,
salted beef.
Yeah.
We always dry salt their corned beef.
Yeah.
And if you had a good cook, you lived pretty well.
What would you eat during the day? Like what was your feeds?
Well, usually you'd have a saddlebag on the side of your saddle. Yeah. If you and 99% of the time you wouldn't be back to the camp before dark.
That's right.
So you had a quart pot.
Okay, yeah.
And a saddlebag, and you'd make yourself a bloody couple of corned beef sandwiches.
Okay, yeah, sure.
That's we had tin cheese.
Yeah.
Old tin cheese, which wasn't too bad.
It was all right.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Tin cheese and what's the name? Meat. Well, was it plenty of tomato sauce and black sauce.
Interesting to know that.
Just beef, corned beef on bread. But sometimes they only have damper, corned beef on damper.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
The old dampers, but
no, it's just funny because if you have the same shit every day, like I remember as a kid, Mum would always make fish fingers. It'd always be fish fingers at some point, and to the point where it just fucking drove me nuts. Now I can't eat a fish finger. Like when you have too much of something that just drives you nuts.
Yeah. You're talking about fish fingers, Robbie. There was a grader Jack.
Yeah.
And he's an old fellow, an old caravan, and he was a brilliant old grader driver. But, his idea of having a bath was hitting himself with about half a pound of talcum powder, and it stuck to him. And anyway, I was talking to him one day, and he used to sometimes be at the station of a weekend.
Yeah, sure.
And he used to get fish fingers
brought
out from Mount Isa, flown out because they had a company plane. Brendan had Beechcraft Bonanza, a company plane.
You're kidding me.
It's their own plane. Fly these fish fingers out for him. The manager's wife used to get them for him. So anyway, he said to me, I'll be back in the station Saturday night. I'd say catch up with me. And he said, I'm looking forward to a big feed of fish fingers. See? I said, oh, Jesus, bloody fish fingers would be good. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a minute. Anyway, fish fingers would be good. Anyway, he said, well, come in Saturday night, which we used to come in, and he said, I'll have some fish fingers for you. Well, like his caravan was funny, was terrible, and the old frying pan, she hadn't been washed for 12 months, and there's bloody shit and rubbish everywhere. He cooked up these fish fingers for me. And I ate them, and I was very, very grateful that he thought of me, and I ate them, but there was no return for another fish finger. No returns. There was no returns on the fish fingers.
It leaves that impression. Oh, shit.
But while you're talking about fish, at the end of 1 year there, I went for a run with the road train driver.
Oh, yeah, okay.
went in Mount Ice, worked my ass off loading bloody diesel drums into bloody crates and everything, and we had all the stores for the station.
Yep.
And you had boxes of apples and boxes of oranges,
Oh, yeah, sure.
And we got to Camwell, and there's a place there used to sell fish and chips.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And I said to this fella, I said, I wouldn't mind a bloody bit of fish and chips, for, as we're going through.
Yeah.
He said, no, waste your money. He said, oh, what, are you hungry? So anyway, he gets up in the back and he jimmies the lid off a box of apples and a box of oranges. He give me an apple and an orange. I'll go and pass this fish and chip shop, dribbling, thinking about this bloody fish and he said, waste your money, he said.
Good old fashioned fish and chips. Hey, you can't go wrong.
Especially
with
when you're only eating beef all the time.
Oh, that's it. That's
different.
That's what made me think of it. I was thinking, I remember the same thing. Fish fingers all the time. It just deterred me from it. I thought that it'd be the same for you guys, eating beef all the time.
Yeah. And I'll just skip a little bit here. It's all that pertains to Brunette Downs.
Yeah, sure.
And the second year there, I stayed there over the Christmas break.
Okay.
And like young fellas learning, you could be on the windmill trucks, or you could be bore running, or you could be with the mechanic. You do, and they'd rotate us around. The ones that stayed, but there wasn't many that stayed.
Yeah, okay.
Most of them went home to their families.
Was this, and that was for the Christmas period, was it?
Yeah.
Shut it down
when the stock camp finished.
Yep.
So when the stock camp basically finished, when it got too hot, work stock, you'd go and.
Yep.
Anyway, I was bore running.
Okay, yeah.
And I drank some. We had a 44-gallon drum with an inch hard bloody pipe hose.
Yeah.
And any dead cattle that were around, because of botulism, you had to cut timber on them and then pour the diesel on and light them up and burn the carcass
burn the carcass
around the water. See. Anyway, I had this bloody plastic hose and it was hard, and I was sucking and it wasn't coming out. All of a sudden it was rushed. and I got a big stomach full of diesel.
Oh.
Anyway, I finished up. Then I went to Rocky 2 bore. I climbed up the T-stairs, passed out, half in the water, nearly died, nearly drowned there.
Wow.
Staggered out, jumped in the vehicle and drove about, 90 miles back to the station, 70 miles. Staggered in, fell on my bed. I was almost unconscious.
Yeah, of course.
No one really sort of missed me until tea time.
Yeah.
Oh, where's Terry? I was in there and I was almost bloody out to it.
Fuck.
And my stomach was full of
diesel,
and burned all the inside of my stomach out.
Shit.
The flying doctor came and he said, pressed on my stomach, does that hurt? Oh, and he said, he said, all that's got to pass through you.
Yeah.
Until that passes through, you're not gonna, So I got down to about, I think I was 3 stone 7 or something.
Yeah.
I was only about 10 stones it was, but I couldn't get out of bed.
Wow.
And I got real sick, really, really sick. And I see hallucinations, all sorts of terrible stuff. Had a nurse coming to me, giving me these pills every day.
Yeah.
But they weren't doing anything for me. They weren't helping me.
Yeah.
Anyway, Charlie Shan, he was head stockman at Camp 1 and very famous. Had Mac Shan, you see the top camp draft?
Yep.
Charlie was his uncle. He died about 3 or 4 months ago, poor old Charlie. Oh. In Toowoomba. Yep. Anyway, he gave me these. He'd been to Europe, and he had these he'd been to Greece, dysentery pills.
Okay.
Because I was just on this pain. Just everything was running through me and just starving away, dying on the bed. And he gave me these pills, and I started picking up.
Yeah.
And then I got a bit stronger. I started sitting up in bed, and then I used to be like a gecko going down the wall to the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
On the wall.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk along. I'd fall over.
You'd fall over, yeah.
And then I got in with this Pommy Bob, this cook, as his cook's offsider, to teach me and to get my strength back till I was strong enough to go back to the stock camp.
Of course, yeah.
And that's where we were doing 90 loaves of bread every morning, except Sunday. We were cutting up this beef. We were cooking for about 40 to 50 men there.
Wow.
And I learned a fair bit about cooking from him. He was a lovely, lovely fellow.
Yeah.
Bob Falston, Pommy Bob.
Call me Bob.
Yeah, no, he's a great old fella.
So what was your nickname on the station? Still wasn't Slopper, was it?
No, I got out of Slopper. I think it was just Terry. I think
Terry, yeah. That's right.
Sort of later times I've been TJ.
TJ, yeah, TJ.
Buddy,
yeah.
TJ's sort of most of the time.
Was that to sort of summarise this first app? Was that the last place that you were at before you got into the police force?
No, I went from there to the Channel Country.
Okay, and what was that like?
It was a whole different ball game.
Yeah. Did you want to touch on that one in the next episode, or did you want to? We'll finish up on that one.
Yeah, I could probably just do a little bit more on Brunette Downs.
Yeah, finish up on Brunette Downs. Yeah, that'd be good. And then you can close up with what?
Like down what they call the Lake Country, Doocamunda Country, out towards Rockhampton Downs boundary. I'll tell you.
Yeah, tell me.
Well, I'll tell you this first story, and the dust was that bad. Cut the eyes out of your head.
Oh, really?
Grey dust.
Oh, okay.
Behind 2,000 or 3,000 head of cattle and dust.
I suppose it would be, wouldn't it? You forget about that stuff.
And the wind blowing, and sometimes but anyway, we yarded these cattle. There's an Aboriginal fellow by the name of Johnson.
Yep.
He's deceased now. Smartest Aboriginal I ever knew in my life.
Yep.
Very smart man, Johnson. Anyway, he said to me, I said, geez, I said, it's going to be dusty here, Brandon, tomorrow. He said, rain tonight? I said, no, it's not going. Where's the clouds? He said, no, rain tonight, he said.
Really?
Rain tonight. Where's the clouds? I can't see a cloud. No, he said, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. Rain tonight. Next morning, of course, 3,000 cows and calves peeing all night.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It's bloody just about
making a mess.
Like mud.
It would be, yeah.
No dust in the yard. No dust in the yard. He said to me, he said, Terry, I told you it was going to rain last night.
I love it.
I told you it was going to rain last night. Oh, you bugger, you got
I love it.
Another time.
That was a good one.
Another time, I bloody rode they had this mare. And I think I might have been Maxie Priest camp. But anyway, this mare, she could buck a bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought I was starting to be able to hang up a bit, starting to ride a bit better.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said, you can take that mare there and see how you go with her, Anyway, you saddle them up. They buck with the saddle and they go round and round and flew on. I think I lugged her to get on her. And anyway, she put on a pretty fair turn, but I rode it pretty well.
Yeah, sure.
I rode it pretty well. And I was pretty proud of myself.
Yeah,
probably the best horse I'd ever, like buck jumping horse, or ridden horse I'd ridden. And I thought, and then me and a fellow by the name of Finlay, we rode out mushing towards Rocky Two Bore on the Rockhampton Downs boundary. They called Doocamunda Windmill and Bore there. And we rode out, and the horses went from that camp. They were heading straight to this. Not this Rocky Two Bore, not Doocamunda, Rocky Two Bore.
Yep.
Which is about 17 mile.
Okay.
And we were mustering around into this yards there. And I got out about 10 mile, and this mare, she bloody flew in the air, and she got into it,
Yeah.
Anyway, I rode her. Only just. I rode her. And then I did the fatal mistake. I pulled my hat off and I said, you want a buck, you bitch? I'll give you a buck. And I hit her down the flank. Well, she went halfway to the moon. And I went about halfway to that bloody Rocky Two Bore. She threw me about 40 feet, rolled me in the dirt, and turned around while she went, heading back to where she come from, see? This Finlay said, he said that this mare thinks her mates are back there.
Yeah.
But her mates are gone. They're gone. I have to go back and follow her along and get her and lead her back to the camp.
Yeah.
Now, that Rocky Two Bore is about 12 mile that way, that way. You just walk straight that way and you would see the windmill and 12 mile, like there was a bit of timber out there too. And I'm walking. I think I'm going to die out here. I didn't get hurt.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I had bloody dust and shit. A few burrs in me too, I think. And anyway, finally I see the little peak, the top of the windmill, sticking over the horizon,
Yeah.
Ah, Well, I was the happiest man in the world. I was happy as a mud crab. I was bloody, you bloody beauty. I'm not going to die after all, I'm not going to die. I wasn't so cheeky the next time. She taught me a lesson.
She taught you a lesson?
That Bay Mare, she taught me not to be such a smart bastard,
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that. Yeah. We'll do a 3-part ep, and so that we can talk about
Kurrabalka, then I joined the police
force, and then
see how we're going.
We'll do that one, and then a third one we'll do sort of later on in your career, what you do now, and all that sort of stuff. So
that's great.
That's great. Thanks so much for sharing those stories with us, mate. It's been fantastic. It's great knowledge and great history.
I always wanted to put into a book.
Yeah, I hope you still do. I hope you do. I think
I've got more of the photos and everything in there that go in the book.
Yeah, do you really? Yeah, that's cool.
And I got them right there.
Yeah, I will have a look for sure. I might even grab a couple of those photos because it'd be great to, when we do a couple of clips, compare some of those photos to what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But so I'll give it to you now, even though you're going to be on for a couple of episodes. Every guest that comes on the Deadass podcast, we give them a present. So it's a gift for coming on. So you get your own coffin nameplate, mate.
Right, mate. That's good.
Yeah. So
I sincerely hope I don't have to use it for a little while.
No, that's it. No, well, I've made one for you. So I got your eulogy, I got your coffin nameplate. We're good.
You're right. Old Bretto's sending me down the shirt here.
Yeah. He's bloody put you in the deep end on this one.
Me out.
Yeah. So you can see this is the coffin table.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So that's where we got the nameplate there on there. So that's the same as that. So every guest they get one of those.
Oh, right. Yep.
One of those nameplates, mate.
Yep.
So, so thank you very much for the first step. We'll have you back on soon for the second part of your career and your life, and then we'll go from there, mate. So we'll keep an eye. Thank you very much to everyone who's been listening, and keep your eye out for the second episode coming out soon. So.
Thanks, Pricey.
Cheers, mate.
It's been a bloody pleasure, mate.
Oh, good on you, mate. Thank you.
We've had a few laughs.
Mate, I've had a cracker. So thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate it. Cheers.
Thank you. Right.